Hey everybody, QG here. This is it, the long-awaited, long-overdue Rajbo video. So, Rajbo is a couple in the newest Total Drama season between Bowie and Raj. They are the first confirmed gay canon couple in Total Drama ever. Like, full stop, no holds bars. They are the first confirmed canon couple. And this video is basically going to be me detailing why it's a good thing. So, and I'm going off of no script here. I'm going off of how I feel, because I feel like that's the most authentic way I can express why I think this couple is so important to have in this show. So, when it comes to like media and cartoons and animated shows and stuff that are geared towards a younger audience, it's though you could argue that those are like the best places to have elements that they should know is they should grow up and be accepting of. And so when when someone's growing up watching an animated show as a kid, it's important that what they're watching is good or valuable to them, because, you don't want to grow up with false notions or bad ideas or conceptions or, things like that. So when we consistently live in a day and age where non-straight couples in really any piece of media is not super common, but even more so, it's not super common that they even explicitly say what they are. Like, instead, they just leave it up to the show to show the viewer instead of actually confirming and affirming. And Total Drama, of all the shows, I don't know how Total Drama managed this, but Total Drama of all the shows managed to confirm and affirm. And so that's what I want to go over this video is, those two main points and how they were able to pull that off. So, obviously, is the confirm. Time and time again throughout the season, we see it's made abundantly clear that Raj likes Bowie and Bowie likes Raj. Like, it's just very obvious. They make it very clear as day. There is no possible room for any other interpretation of it. It's not like, oh, well, they're just friends. Like, there's no room for any of that. They have romantic feelings for each other, period. And I think it's great. I think it seems like that should be a given, but you'd be surprised the amount of media that's supposed to be rep that sort of circumvents this little leeway and instead chooses to go the direction of never being explicit about it. They can be explicit as they want in like the visuals, but if it's not just outright said or implied, it doesn't really matter, Now, of course, if one of the visuals happens to be them kissing, then that's a bit different, but anything else is not really considered like official confirmation. And so that's why I think it's important that Total Drama has, that kind of rep, because without that kind of rep, you're not giving the younger audience a proper view of the world around them. Like, they are going to meet non-straight people. That is a fact. Like, everyone is going to meet a non-straight person at some point. Statistically, it is just kind of inevitable, really. So, it makes sense that the shows you watched growing up should have representation like that, so that you're not coming into the world with preconceived biases and notions. And that's why it's so important that Rajbo exists in the way that it does, and is portrayed in the way that it does, and is explicit in the way that it does. But there is another element to Rajbo that I greatly appreciate. I already talked about the confirm element, but there's also the affirm element, which is the reassurance that it's okay to not be straight, or even a good thing. So, to go over these plots for this season, Bowie kind of does a lot of things this season, but one of his plots is his little relationship thing with Raj. However, that's honestly more of a Raj and Wayne thing, or at least ends up being more of a Raj and Wayne thing. I think we first start seeing signs of this happening in episode 3, but debatably episode 2 if you count an offhanded comment from Bowie. But this couple basically starts in episode 3. That's when we start seeing the Bowie and Raj interactions. And then episode 4, we get an actual moment between them where it's like, oh, they like each other. And then when this happens, Raj is, he's like, huh, I don't know what happened there. And then Wayne and then we get a confessional with Wayne right afterwards, and he's all excited. He's like, oh my God, right, my friend Raj is gay, or bi? No, gay, probably. Well, he's gonna tell me at some point. And that's just it's such a good thing. It is one thing to have rep and to be explicit about having rep and showing it and, portraying it. It's another thing entirely to have a main plot revolving around it, which is ensuring that the person who is coming to terms with their sexuality is, comfortable, or at least reassured that they're okay, or that this is the right thing, because it is taboo. Straight couples are all around us, everywhere, in all walks of life, in all media, everywhere. So, of course, a non-straight couple is going to be viewed as taboo. And so it's important that anyone who does identify in that way is properly reaffirmed and accepted. And that's why it's so awesome that Wayne's biggest contribution this season is being Raj's biggest supporter, while also ensuring that he's not forcing himself to say what he's not comfortable with admitting yet. It's one thing to be supportive of someone you think might be coming to terms with who they are. It's another thing entirely if you're, trying, kind of egging him on to hey, you should just admit it at this point. That's different. That's bordering on teasing, kind of almost forcing. That's not the way to go about it. But thankfully, the show never goes that route. So far, anyways. We still have a season 2, so who knows. But yeah, for this particular season, they never go to that extent. And then otherwise, I don't know, Raj and Bowie, they didn't, their couple doesn't last a long time. Episode 3 is the first real sign of something between them, and then episode 4 is the first real moment between them. From there, I don't. We get a couple moments between Raj and Wayne where Wayne is trying to reassure Raj that he's that he can tell him anything and that kind of thing. That's kind of a bit that Wayne does throughout several episodes from this point on, but it started here. I don't think they interact with Bowie this episode, so we can probably skip 5. Episode 6 is obviously the catapult episode, and it's also the pudding shark pool episode where Raj and Bowie kiss. Here's the thing about that, though. So not only is that a kiss between Raj and Bowie, the first gay couple kiss on screen ever in total drama. Well, first, like, intentional kiss. Like, I don't count stuff like the Noah and Cody or whatever. Like, that's not the same thing. You guys know what I mean. Anyways, Wayne also happens to see this and becomes basically even more reaffirmed in his, like, resolve to make sure that he's giving Raj a comfortable space to actually come to terms with how he feels and stuff. So then episode 7 comes, and before we get too far into the challenge, Raj stops Bowie to talk to him for a second, and he's like, hey, I'm sorry I kind of just kissed you out of nowhere. I didn't mean to overstep or whatever, that kind of thing. He didn't say it like that. Raj talks differently. I'm not... You guys know what I mean. Basically, Raj went out of his way to say, like, hey, I'm sorry for kissing you without asking first, basically. That's all he was doing. And I also want to clarify that is awesome. Like, it is awesome that we actually have a character doing that. Like, I was kind of worried about that, honestly, when I first watched episode 6. I was like, oh, wow, I cannot believe that kiss just happened, but he didn't ask first either, so I don't know. Like, that's not like a personal hang up. It's not like I only had that problem with this couple. I tend to have that problem with a lot of total drama couples where it's like, oh, they just kissed and they didn't really build up to it at all or anything. Like, okay. But here they actually, like, address it the following episode, and it's so good. Like, yes. Thank you for including that. That is a great moment to include, not even just for the non-straight couple rep, but just, like, as a couple in general. Like, that's just a great thing to show, period. But then, as Raj is talking about this, Bowie just kind of interrupts him and is like, hey, let's... and reaffirms him that I liked kissing you too, but I'm here to win. So let's put a pause on this and we can start dating after the competition. And then they kiss again, and that's pretty much a wrap on Rajbo for this season, I think. But that's also amazing because we also get, the moment between them where it's like, it's healthy. Like, it's not like, oh, they're going to try being a couple throughout the season and they're going to face turmoil because they're competitors against each other or whatever. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's like they understand that they're there to win, Like, they're basically agreeing not to get distracted however much they might want to. And that's great. I think that's awesome. I love that is another element to their relationship, and because of that, it debatably makes them one of, if not the healthiest couples we've seen in total drama. Not even just like one of like the best straight couples or anything like that. They're kind of just one of the best couples, period, as far as portraying a healthy relationship. And I think that in itself is also noteworthy for total drama. And yeah, I don't know. It's just that's how I feel about it, really. That's how I feel about Rajbo. I think I will say, execution-wise, I have my gripes with episode 7. I think Raj finally coming to terms with his thoughts and feelings and telling Wayne when he did felt like it came a little out of nowhere, if I'm being honest. Like, I knew it was gonna happen. Like, obviously it was going to happen. It just didn't really feel like it was a built up to arc. It just kind of felt like a thing that happened. And that's not inherently a bad thing. It just feels a little odd from a writing perspective, I suppose. But regardless, that has nothing to do with my thoughts on the actual relationship. Just more so like aftermath, execution stuff. But generally speaking, I love this couple. I love these characters. And I absolutely adored the plots they decided on with them here. I don't think they could have done a better job with the first gay couple of the series. I really don't. Would it have been nice to see more of them? Absolutely. But, you know, we're getting to season 2. So we're gonna see more of them. Like, I don't... So, I don't know. I guess I'm just not really concerned about that at the moment because we know they're coming back for at least one more season, so we're going to see more of them. That's really the only thing I think you could knock the couple on, because otherwise it's just kind of perfect and it's awesome. Love it. So, yeah. That was my thoughts on Rajbo. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Total Drama content like this, and share this video with your friends. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this couple, and if you think they were handled well, if you like what they represent and how they were treated, as well as how Wayne factored into it and stuff. And yeah, that's it. Peace.